Okay, hello again, honor students. I'm going to start out by showing you how to get to the information about e-portfolios. So let me share my screen again. Okay. So here you should see the main Randolph-Macon website. And if you type in honors into the search, you should get a link to information for current honors students. If you don't, you can go to the main honors page and all of the information you need can be found on the left-hand side here. So all of our program requirements are at the top, but if you scroll down a little bit further, there's a section called Honors Documents and Policies, okay? There's the Honors Handbook, there's our probation policy, and then there's two links for ePortfolio information. The first link here is just general information about what an ePortfolio is. So it doesn't have specific information about deadlines or anything like that. It's sort of general ePortfolio information. If you click on the second link, it's got information that is specific to this year's ePortfolio deadlines. So I'm going to click on that. Can you still see the document here on my screen, ePortfolio requirements academic year 2021, 2022. It looks like it because it opened in a new window. This is this year's, oh yeah, okay. This is this year's deadlines. So e-portfolios are required for everyone except for graduating seniors. If you are a graduating senior, you do not need to submit an e-portfolio link to me. And the deadline this year is June 1st, 2022. So I need you to submit your link via the MyMacon web portal by June 1st, 2022. All I need is a website link. So you just put it into the portal, hit enter, and then that's how I can get to your ePortfolio. This is not a graded assignment. So please remember that we're not giving you a grade for this. There's no pass fail. This is your opportunity for self-reflection, planning for the future, and is really designed to benefit you as you move from being with us here at Randolph-Macon to wherever you're going to go after you leave us. So this is your little project that you work on that you can show to a graduate school, that you can show to a professional school, that you could show if you decide to apply to a postgraduate scholarship or fellowship, that you could share on your medical school application. It's an opportunity for you to spotlight what you are capable of in a way that a resume or a CV can't do because it's on paper. There are different requirements depending on what year you are. So if you are a first year student in the honors program, if this is your first year in the honors program, you need a biography page, one artifact, which is a paper or an assignment from a class that you are proud of, a goals page, it doesn't have to have content on it, and then an annual review statement from your first year. This says from your freshman year, it's from your first year in the honors program. This is what I've accomplished. This is what I'm hoping to accomplish in the future. Doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be super involved. Second year, you're gonna update your biography. You're gonna submit 2 artifacts. You're gonna have some goals on your goals page, and then another annual review statement. And then if you're a third year student with us, you should have done this before. You'll just update your biography page. You'll put another artifact on there. You'll have more goals, hopefully, and then your annual review statement. Your link that you submit to the MyMacon web portal may be the same link every year. You may submit the exact same link every year. That is absolutely fine. That link is to prompt me to go and take a look at your ePortfolio and give you some feedback. Okay, so you can find this document on our website. I posted it today so you can see the due dates and everything, and then take a look at the other document, which gives more detailed information about what the ePortfolio is. All right, I am going to now stop sharing and turn it over to Mrs. Zhang from the library, who is kind enough to give her time every year to do a training session with us on ePortfolios. I am recording this session so that we can post it on our YouTube channel if you want to go back and review it. And if you have questions, you can type your questions in the chat. You can chat to me or chat to everyone, or there'll be time to answer questions at the end. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Zhang, for speaking with us today.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Zhang. My office is in the library makers next to the makerspace. So anytime you have questions, feel free to email me or just stop by. I'm here Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. And yeah, I'm usually in the office, and occasionally I teach workshops like this in the classroom. Okay, so we are going to cover the very basics of ePortfolio to start with. All right, and anytime if you have questions, please just use the reaction icon on the bottom right of your Zoom screen, or if you just want to voice out, I'll try to respond to questions as quickly as possible. So I am going to start sharing the screen. And anytime you see my mouse sort of moving around, you know that I'm looking for a screen. Okay, so here we go. We are going to actually start with a Google slide deck, just very quickly what you know about ePortfolio. And I'm going to just quickly do a exercise. Okay, well, these are the things we try to accomplish today, the different types of portfolio. And of course, you always want to tie them to your requirements for the Honors ePortfolio project. We are going to use Google Sites, which is part of the Google Workspace that all Randolph-Macon students have an account of. And we'll talk quickly about yeah, I'm trying to allow people to come in. I'm going to quickly go over media usage because, as Professor Marchetti said, that using an online portfolio, the ePortfolio, you should take advantage of the tools and the capabilities that a paper binder cannot offer. And finally, we'll talk briefly how to publish your ePortfolio to either make it available to people in the Randolph-Macon community or to everybody who can access the web page. So we are going to go ahead and do an exercise. So all of you should have your computer ready, and I'm going to type the URL in the chat box so that you can go to the site. And if you have the Google Doc app installed, you can just point at the QR code and scan it. All right, so let me go ahead and share, put that in the chat box. All right, so you can click on it and go ahead and go to that page. And the prompt is, okay, so if you have that, go to that page. The prompt is, when people talk about ePortfolios, what are the 3 words that come to your mind? Okay, so yeah, you can go ahead and start typing. Oops, sorry, not that one. Yeah, you can go ahead and start typing. Just find a box. Yeah, any box on the document and type. Okay. Yeah, if you want to provide 3 words, that would be wonderful. All right. Yeah, if it's anonymous, that's fine. If the name is there, that's fine. But we are just going to, yeah, spend a minute try to type 3 words, and they don't have to be the exact one word phrase. It could be actually phrases, things like goal oriented. Let's count that as 1 word. Okay, we're just gonna wait 8 or 10 more seconds, and then we'll see what we can find out. Okay, all right. I'm gonna just take a quick look at what words we have. Okay, we can go over the document and just read them, but just try to get a visual presentation. I'm going to generate word cloud. Okay. Allow. So this has been a while. Did it generate? Okay, so we're going to try one more time, or try the generate. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. On the right hand side, we have these words, and being the word cloud, the most frequent word will be the biggest. Okay, so as we can tell, we have reflective, achievements, awesome, resume, accomplishments, experience, technology, future, thorough, electronic, and creative. All right, okay. No, what we already know, and goals, goal or goals. All right, great. Yeah, that's awesome. So these are exactly what we're going to cover. And of course, we always want to think about the requirements for the first year, the second year. All right, so let's go on. The portfolios, okay, basically, yes, we want to document the growth and the progress. That's why you have first year, you have to have update, you have to start creating your portfolio. In the second year, you need to update. For instance, you may have expanded goals or changed goals, or your statement might be different, but it's a good place to hold the growth, the evidence of the growth and progress. And I see some of you have typed that you want to make sure it's reflective. And when you create the portfolio, the reflection part should be across different things that you have learned from different classes or different disciplines. It could be English, even physical education, or science lab sections. And also, you should probably tie your academic goals and achievements to your personal or community life. For instance, your civic service, right? The clubs, the leadership, and the sports you play. And yes, some of you have typed that achievements, accomplishments, definitely. You want to use this as showcase your achievements and the skills. So multimedia, okay? Use multimedia, try to tell a story. Well, the resume on the paper is very static, right? With the ePortfolio platform, you can put something like podcast you created. Like when you interview, for instance, an immigrant family for your sociology, you can use that as artifact, right? Or if you know other technologies and you can use technology to create something and put online, that's wonderful. So try to think it as something that will showcase your achievement and accomplishments. Try to demonstrate what you know, how great your writing is, so on and so forth. Okay, somebody's trying to get in. All right, so next we're going to go ahead and let's see. Just point out, and this slide deck will be available for you. Our honors program director will make sure this will be distributed. I do want to point out that Creative Commons is important when you try to get images or media. If it's not something that you have created but you want to use for instance, an icon, just like an image to present something, like the field, the trees, or when you put a picture of, for instance, community service. If the picture is not taken by you, okay, you want to credit. You want to give proper credit. And Creative Commons is the website where you can get free images, music, for educational use. Remember, the e-portfolio will be a little bit different from your PowerPoint presentation that you give in class. PowerPoint is mainly for a very restricted focus group, the class, right? Your e-portfolio could be potentially published and available to future employers or graduate schools. So you need to make sure that the media that you use and not created by you should give permission for you to use. You have permission to use them, and of course you should always give proper credits. Very quick, okay, these you probably already know, the technologies, okay? If you don't, PowerPoint, Audacity, or Creative Cloud Express, these are pretty straightforward to use, and usually the vendor's website has tutorials or information how to use. I do want to point out one tool is the Jamboard. It's free with our Randolph-Macon Google account. So basically, if you just go to your Drive, Google Drive, and then you click on New, you can go to More and select Jamboard. And if it's not there, you can add the Jamboard. Usually, it's already there. Okay, so what it looks like, it's actually something that you can put a sticker note. Okay, for instance, this will be statement, right? You all have to include statement in your portfolio. So if you have, okay. All right, so the statement could go where or however, if you want to link the statement to academics or civic engagement, however you want to do it, it's just very easy to, to have the sort of mapping of ideas. So it's brainstorming and mapping, just very quickly. And next we are going to, I'm going to move this out of my way. All right, do pay attention to Creative Commons, and we're not going to cover that today. Finally, it's the references that you can use, and we are going to now log into your Randolph-Macon Google account. Okay, so you have to log into using your Randolph-Macon email and password. So Randolph-Macon Google account is now called Google Workspace, that gives you unlimited storage, and also when you use the tool for ePortfolio development, it's called Google Sites. It allows you to publish your ePortfolio at 2 different levels. At minimum, you need to make sure that it's published to the Randolph-Macon community so that the honors director can access your site, your ePortfolio. And at some point when it's ready for the world or your future graduate school or employers to view, you'll publish to the whole public. Okay, so if you have all logged in, we're going to proceed with the portfolio. All right, so if you have questions that if you cannot log in, could you please let me know? We're gonna just give a few seconds for everybody to log in. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and show what it's like, what it looks like, or what your finished product might be like. And of course, there are variations, right? You can change things. You probably have, you have different links or different ways to organize your ePortfolio. Here we go. All right, your front page will be biography or overview. And then you have different links. In my case, okay, in this example, I have academics. So when your viewer click on academics and click on course taken, okay, these are the courses that I have taken. And if they look at community engagement, your viewers look at community engagement. If I want to highlight my leadership, I have my leadership at the very top under the heading of community engagement. So if I click on leadership, okay, so all right, please note that this is all make-believe, okay? This is not my e-portfolio. I'm just using this as an example. All right, so I have evidence, what I have done, and I created video for that's related to the leadership position, and just so that I could demonstrate that with your Google Sites, you can even include Google Map, to show people where Randolph-Macon chapter of this nonprofit organization is. All right, so under community engagement, I also listed my campus job. So if I click on that, okay, so I give a list of a very general overview for this position and what I have done. Okay, so because I have done so many things under the heading help students and faculty with digital projects, I have this collapsible function when I click on it. So these are the list of things that I've done for helping faculty and students with digital projects, and I can also click on that. These are the things that related to programming. And I also want to showcase my photography skills. So I have the pictures and actually the caption or the credits being photos by me. Okay, so people could scroll through the photos that I took, so on and so forth. And of course, if you want to have a section for technology and skills, you will add more here. Okay, so that said, I'm gonna show you how to use Google Sites for creating a portfolio like that. All right, so I'm going to accept. All right, so before we start from scratch, I want to show you the editor mode. What you have just seen is the publishing mode, okay, what your audience will see, what your viewers will see. But you being the editor or the author, this is what it looks like, okay? So you have things that you can click and start to type or include or upload. And these are a bunch of tools on the left-hand side for you to organize. You can pick a theme to organize these links, pages, and also you have different layouts to work with. Okay, so I'm gonna stop share for just a second so that I can see you. I wanna just make sure you don't have questions before we start using Google Sites. All right, okay. I'm gonna share the screen again. All right. So on your Google Drive, okay, go ahead and log into your Google, Randolph-Macon Google. If you just use your personal Google account, okay, your site will either be published or not published, or just give access by typing people's email addresses. Okay, that's not a very easy way to share or publish. So use your Randolph-Macon Google account and then go to Google Drive. All right, this is where we can start. And my experience is that when you create an e-portfolio, you will have artifacts, right? Probably media. It's good for you to create a folder for e-portfolio. And in my case, okay, I have the folder called e-portfolio honors. For you, you can go ahead and click on new plus folder and name it e-portfolio. Okay, name it e-portfolio. All right, and then click on the folder, the new folder. Okay, click on the folder you just created. All right, and now we're gonna go ahead and click on new and select more, select Google Sites. There we go. Okay, so I would hope. All right, so we have a student who has just joined. I just want to point out that you want to go to your Randolph-Macon Google account, and then from Google Drive, create a new folder and call it e-portfolio. Open the folder and then select new. you have to select more and then select Google Sites. That's where we are now, Google Sites. Okay, so this is your title page, your home page. What I will suggest is you want to have a layout, have a theme for your site, and that theme should be consistent. The theme could include, okay, so if you look to the right hand side, the theme, there aren't many for you to choose from, but these actually are plenty, because you can always customize this. As of now, is the black banner. We can add an image to replace the black banner. Okay, and we can choose a theme. As of now, I have on simple. You can do whichever you want. Okay, all right, and however, the layout that comes with the theme, I suggest you stay with it. For instance, on this page, if I have a lot of words, it will make it double line. Leave it that way. The reason is because of accessibility. Okay, we know that now all the pages should be responsive to people's devices, right? You may change it and try to fit through the box, like from left to all the way to the right, but then when people display it on the phone, it could look very out of place, very messy. So we try to leave whichever you have picked, that or Aristotle, or whatever you have picked is fine. Okay, I'm going to pick simple, or Aristotle. Okay. And also, I'm going to use this opportunity to change the image. All right, and again, whatever image you pick for the header or the banner will be carried over to your subsequent pages. Okay, well, can you change individually on the subsequent pages? Yes, you can. All right, but we also want to make sure that it's consistent. So when people are visiting your page or visiting your ePortfolio, doesn't matter which page they're on, they know that, oh, they're still on the same ePortfolio they start with. Okay, so we want the banner to be consistent. So let's go ahead and change the image. So now this is time for you to upload, and I hope that you have some images on your laptop, okay, or from your Google Drive, your Randolph-Macon Google Drive. If not, just go ahead and just go ahead and select image. If not, if you don't want to worry too much about that, just pick image from the stock image, whatever you pick. All right, so when we design PowerPoint, we want to be cautious not to use something too busy, right? The good thing about Google Site is, okay, it actually, see, once you pick something, it has that like twinkle star here. It makes sure that your text will be in good contrast to the background or to the image of what you just chose. Okay, so that it's easy to read. All right, so if you click on the twinkle thing, it says basically it's not going to adjust for readability. Your text will not stand out very nicely. So I always like to leave it on. So let the AI, artificial intelligence, decide what is the best, what color or contrast is best, so that my text is legible to the audience. So go ahead. Okay, so again, this is the theme I choose. And okay, so today is a practice. You start practicing your ePortfolio development. And later, you're like, whoa, I really want to make a lot of changes, including the banner. That's fine. You can create a new site. Okay, so one person can create as many sites as possible. Okay, so we have it there, my title. Okay, so I'm just going to call my name, or, well, at least you can call it, okay, your initial, I'll call it example. Okay. All right, so once you have the title, once you have your title of the e-portfolio on the home page, go ahead and click on the Untitled Site box on the top left corner and just call it LC. Okay, at this point, I would suggest you not using your true name, because your name will be used as part of the final e-portfolio. And I think long term, you want to preserve that one you're going to get serious about or you're going to use for your real e-portfolio. For today's practice, just to learn how to use the tool, let's just use something that's somewhat related, but related to you, but not your real true name. Okay. All right. So we have that. You can add your own logo or your miniature thumbnail of your pictures. That's okay. All right. So, all right. We just picked a theme. We created a home page. Okay. It's under the theme. Now let's go ahead and look at pages. Okay. So on pages, on your right hand side, and it's sites. Google Sites is very easy to use in a sense that everything is basically right there. Okay, you don't have to go look for like what's hidden under something. It's pretty straightforward. On the pages, right now, the system tells you that you have home page, which is great. Okay, what about, I'm gonna work on a home page. Okay, let's make it, add some content. There are multiple ways, and I like to start with the insert because it gives me the template to work with. Like, okay, this is the layout, which is actually nice, right? So for my home page, I like to use that. This will be my image. Okay, this is what I would like to do. If you want to upload an image, great. If you select from Google Drive or select from your computer or even YouTube, if you have made a YouTube video that's relevant, you can do that too. So in my case, I'm going to select image. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to select a fun image. Insert. You can resize it, and actually Google sort of crops it in a limited way. You can click on it, and you can click on the crop icon and select a portion, but it's very limited. Yeah, you can make it perfect square. You can even make it clickable when you click on the image and click on the link, inserted link. Okay, and also when you click on the, go ahead and click on the image and select the three-dot menu. Okay, it says add alt text, and I suggest you do that and add a caption. Okay, the caption could be just the credit, who took the picture, where you got the picture. Okay, but of course if it's a picture you own, you don't have to. Adding a alt text is important for access. We have visually impaired audience who actually rely on the screen reader to read what's on your portfolio, e-portfolio. So photo of mine or just my photo. So the screen reader, remember the visually impaired audience will not see your images, but the machine reader will read as my photo, image titled my photo. Okay, so that's my photo. And this is pretty straightforward. Click to edit. Okay, so you could do something about me or autobiography. Okay, and you can start typing. Okay, I'll just do RMC. All right, you can do keep typing. What if you actually want to make it link to RMC, or I'm a biology student, I'm an education student, you want to link to the education department of Randolph-Macon? What you would do is you will highlight the text just like you would do in PowerPoint, then select the link icon, and type in the URL or copy and paste the URL. Okay, so it's actually when you copy and paste, it's not just www.rmc.edu, it's actually just copy the whole URL and hit apply. So that becomes a link. Okay, if you click on it, it probably doesn't go anywhere yet. I mean, you can just follow it, but this is not what your audience will see, remember? This is what you are editing, you are seeing. So what will your audience see? In Sites, there's this icon for preview. Okay, so if you click on that, okay, so this is what your audience will see. When they click on RMC, it will open RMC, right? So back to your Sites tab. Okay, this is what your audience will see. All right. When you look at this floating tool, you can see that the layout could be different. If your audience uses a phone, click on that. That's what they will see. And now talking about responsive, okay, your web page being responsive, see it actually the text scales down because it knows that you're using, I mean the audience is using a phone so that it will display properly. And there's also a tablet display, okay, what the display will look like on a tablet and the laptop or computer. So when you finish previewing, click on the X icon. All right, so that's your home page. Next, we're going to have all the categories, okay? So you can have your statement here, all right? And we're gonna see how we do the statement after we work on a few other categories, all right? Well, for the first year or second year students, I think academics will definitely be included. Later, you probably want to highlight your research or your other skills or community service. But as of now, we are going to start with, we want to have a link in this area which states academics, okay, or courses, however you want to verse it. All right, how do we do that? We get links on this menu bar by creating new pages. So let's go ahead and look to the right. There's a tab that says Pages. So we're going to go ahead and click on the round add button, but don't do that yet. When you point to that plus button, you get to see, you get choices. It can be a link, it can be a new page, or it can be they call the new menu section. Basically, the new menu section will be something like this. Okay, so it would be this. Under academics, you have nested links. Okay, so that's the menu sections. Okay, so let's go ahead and point to the button and click on new menu section. All right, and we'll call this academics. Academics, and hit done. All right, and as you can tell, the time you create academics, you get a link on your menu bar. So what's under academics? Okay, so let's select academics. Okay, when you click, again, on the right-hand side, under the tab Pages, make sure that you click on academics and select the menu, the three dot, and select Add Subpage. And this will be courses taken. Okay, done. Next, we're going to still point at academics and the three dot, select Add another Add Subpage. And I'm going to actually say, okay, writing sample. Okay, something that I'm really proud of. I want to show that. Click done. And still one more. Point to academics, the three dot menu, and select Add Subpage. And I'm going to actually look at research. Or if you have something else like experiential learning or study abroad or internship, what have you, okay? But I'm going to just go ahead and do research. Stop. All right. So here we go. When you look at your main screen, so when you create, okay, home is when we started. You created academics, the menu section, and under academics, we created all 3 subpages. So go ahead and click on academics. And as you can tell that there are 3 pages. Okay, and back to what I said at the beginning, when we started Google Sites, whatever theme you picked and whatever image you picked for the banner, see, they are, it's consistent for all pages. So to move between pages, you can click on home, and that's your home page. You can click on courses taken, writing, and research. And for the audience, it's always from the menu. All right. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and add some content to courses taken. Okay, so go ahead and click on courses. All right. Yeah, so you know that when you click on courses, you have courses taken. Okay. And this is where you can use the insert. Okay, use insert. Or since this is just going to be text, which I actually would like to recommend you add some images, right? Because again, you have the capability of using multimedia, images, audio, video. So you might as well just take advantage of using images. But of course, you want to use images that are relevant to the content. Okay, so you can still click to add. You can still click to add the layout. Okay, or you can just double click into the blank area. It says, oh, what do you want to do? You can start typing text, or you can import something from your drive, or you can add YouTube video, images, or upload something. I'm just going to go ahead and use the text tool. So I've taken, okay, so you can start to list, all right, and then something. All right, so it's pretty straightforward. Okay. All right. And notice that you don't need to save because it's on Google Drive, so anytime you type something, it's being saved. All right, but it's not available to the world yet, even though you can go ahead and preview again. All right, so as I go to home, so that's your home page, and academics under courses taken, that's the page you just composed. But it's not available to anybody except you at this point because it's not published and it's not shared. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on the X icon to go back to the editing mode. All right, so you can go ahead and add content to other pages. So again, to navigate between your pages, you can use the menu bar or click on pages. Okay, so what if at this point you're like, well, I don't really have any research what I want to show to the honors director yet. Okay, you can point to this page, click on the 3 dot and select hidden from navigation. So it's not there now, not there anymore. Now when you click on the caret next to academics, okay, research is not there. All right, so the advantage of that is sometimes you have 2 different versions of something. For instance, at the 4th year of your Randolph-Macon college career, you are preparing to go to graduate school, but you're also preparing to enter the workforce, okay? You know, because you haven't quite decided yet. So maybe you can have the pages that you, okay, course taken properly will be important for graduate school, but there are other things that you have here, but you're like, well, for graduate school, that's not quite relevant. You can choose to hide something, right? So for the out-facing presentation, people don't know that you have pages hidden. Okay, so that's the advantage of having something but not really nested under menu or submenu. Related to that, let's create a page for statement. Okay, for your statement. So let's go ahead and point to academics. Under that, select Add Subpage and call it statement. Okay, you can even call it statement 1, and because that's your first year statement, so we'll click on done. Okay. All right, so for first year statement, when your honors director point to academics, it probably shouldn't be down there, okay? You want to move it up a little bit. And to do that, you can click hold and drag it and move to where you want it to be. Okay, so when you click on academics, statement is right there. It's the very first link. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing because I've been talking for so long. Do you have questions? Any questions? Okay, all right. Do you all are you all able to move the link to make it to be the first at the very top under the academics menu? Okay, if you use Google Chrome, that should, awesome, thank you, Trey. That shouldn't be a problem at all if you use Google Chrome. If you use Safari, sometimes you have problems. It depends on your computer, sometimes the version of your Safari. So I suggest you stick to Chrome, and it's not surprising because it, Google Sites is a Google product, so Google Chrome should definitely work the best. Okay, so back to our I'm sharing the screen. Okay, so that's the first year statement, right? And I call it statement 1. All right, but then when your audience click on academics and statement 1, they're like, what is statement 1? Do you have statement 2 or 3? So, but we only have one page for statement. So even though it's called statement 1 on your panel on the page, you can actually change that. Just call it statement. Okay, it's the page name is still called statement 1, but the heading of this page is now changed to statement. So for the second year, you could do you could create another one, call it statement 2, right? And you can hide statement 1 by then. All right, as of now, if you point to academics, I have statement 1 and statement 2, but you only need 1. And you don't want to delete the old version, so you can hide it. Okay, hide from navigation. So that's that. All right, so let's just practice one more, and then we can talk about publishing. Okay, so what do you think we should do when we need another link next to academics? Let's just call it Civic Engagement. We will start by, okay, be sure you're under the tab pages. And now, okay, you do not want to leave your some item in your academics selected. You want to go ahead and click on home. Okay, from home, you can add subpage, or be sure home is selected and then add a new section or add a new page. Well, for instance, if my civic engagement list is not that long, I'm just going to create a page, not a menu section. I'll just click on page and call it civic engagement. select done. Okay. All right, now civic engagement is above or goes before academics. I'll leave it up to you if you want to choose to have academics right after home page. You can just move it up, right? And when you move the section, the submenu section, all the pages under it will go with it. Okay, don't grab a page, grab the section when you move it up and down. All right, so civic engagement, this will be, if when you click on it, this will be just a one-page thing, okay? And again, back to your content, you can click on insert, and if you have multiple civic engagement and you want to use the collapsible group, you can do that. You can also include image carousel, like after your statement or a list of civic engagement, you can add images. So image carousel would be a good idea. And also the option is you want to, sorry about that, let me move the bar out of my way. When you want to include YouTube, if you actually have spent time making a good collage, well, by the way, you can use PowerPoint to generate a slideshow, adding music or narration, and then save it as an MP4 video and upload MP4 video to YouTube. You can make that a YouTube link. Let's just practice adding a YouTube video. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll try this, right? So this will be my layout. I'll try the layout. This will be YouTube. Or if you want to switch, okay, so you can actually switch by dragging and dropping, but sometimes it's a little hard to drop it in the exact place. So I just be careful about that, okay? So if this is like, working at Habitat for Humanities, okay? And if this is a YouTube video, okay, let's just click on that and select YouTube. All right, and you can actually search for it. Upload would not be a good idea because it would take a long time to load. So if you search for it, or if you just type in the URL of your YouTube video, in my case, I'm just gonna search for Randolph-Macon. If you already have the URL, the web address for your YouTube, just go ahead and type in there. Okay. Select, and there it is. It's really just adding the link, and it's there. Or let's do it differently. If I'm not going to use the layout, right? I'm gonna just delete that. Okay, you can double click and then select this guy, this embed guy, and you get two ways to do it. You can do the URL or embed code. In most cases, I recommend you type in the URL. Okay, whatever YouTube URL you have, type there and hit insert. Okay, so we are very close in time. I'm going to go ahead and show. And just very last thing, I am going to make this website as example so that if you want to see, oh, this is something that I actually want to I want to take advantage of this function. Okay, so because sometimes it's hard to know what you want to do without knowing the tool very well, but I'm going to make this make-believe portfolio available for you so that you can see what are the other possible ways of using sites. All right, so back to my editor mode. When you click on, okay, so all these are pretty straightforward, right? This is for preview. This is for link. Copy the link of your site. Take a quick look at this gear, the settings. Okay, you can have the navigation. Okay, these are called the navigation links, the items that for people to click. Okay, you can make it horizontal or vertical. So right now it's top. That's the default. If you want to do the side, you can do that, but what I like, when I choose side navigation, I like to select black so that it will stand out nicely. Just so you know, this is what it looks like. Okay, so home, academics, and then civic engagement. Okay, so accept. Now publish. To publish your website, or your e-portfolio, okay, you can click on the publish button. Okay, so the web address basically says, okay, so your web e-portfolio will start with this, okay, and then you need to type in something unique. This is where I suggest you type in your name for your full true e-portfolio site, okay? Or for instance, John Smith, there might be a lot of them, so you probably want to type your middle initial, or John Smith 2023, class of 2023. Okay, so yeah, so whatever you type here, okay, yes, it's too short, whatever, 2023, okay, whatever type here, it says this is your address, okay, all right, so that, just remember that whenever you type, so you want to reserve your name for the real portfolio, not right now. Okay, so right now it says who can view my site? Anyone at Randolph-Macon College who has the link can view. All right, which actually is quite secure because Randolph-Macon College students usually will not just search for it, and plus they have to log in. Okay, so this is fine for now. When you publish, basically you would just copy this link and give that to Dr. Marcetti. All right, when you're ready to make your e-portfolio available to people outside of Randolph-Macon, such as your employer, a future employer, or graduate schools, you want to go ahead and click on manage. Okay, all right, so manage instead of typing people's name. You can do that if you just say, well, for the admission, the admission officer at, I don't know, Johns Hopkins, you can do that, but that's not recommended. Okay, you can actually select to change and also publish to the public. Okay, so that's for the whole world to see. But when you click on public, right, you can, I'll say done. You can actually make sure that Google crawler will not find your site if that's what you choose. If you want your site to be available to as many people as possible, you do not want to check the box. And then you can just hit publish. All right, so anytime you make changes, you want to come back here. For instance, if I type something here, right, you want to come back and hit publish. And it will tell you that, okay, so this is your current publish, this is like the one that you already published, this is what you've added. So you sort of compare and hit publish again. Okay, one more thing. What for your writing sample? Pages, academics, writing sample. What if you want to, okay, you're like, well, I just want to actually insert my Google Doc because my writing sample is already, I've already uploaded into my Google Doc. I don't need to copy and paste. You can do that, okay? So when you click on, okay, so when you insert a document, so basically it says which document. If I click on that, okay, so that's inserted. That's the one that we did with the word cloud exercise. So it's there, and you can publish, but you also want to make sure, okay, it says you've made changes, okay, there, let's go ahead. You also want to make sure that this document, okay, remember we just inserted a document, this document, and in my case, it's right here, this word cloud document, you need to make sure that's shared properly too. Click on share, okay, and it's the same thing. If it's just, for Randolph-Macon or anyone with a link, the idea is similar to publishing the site. So you can make it just Randolph-Macon only. If it's just Randolph-Macon College, people will have to sign in. Okay, if anyone with a link, they have the link, they can access. So But just very quickly, if you want to insert a document from your Google Docs, or slides, or sheets, or any of these, you need to publish the doc, the sheets, forms, etc. separately. The only thing you don't need to do that, you don't need to publish whatever separately, will be YouTube and and Map, sorry, YouTube and Map. These are always publicly available. Okay, so that concludes what I have. Sorry, we're running over a bit. Do you have questions? Okay, and if not, I'm gonna just conclude this section, and I'll send the link to the example site, my ePortfolio site, and the Google slide deck to Dr. Massetti for sharing.
Thank you so much, and students, I will put this recording on our YouTube site as well. Thank you so much for your attention, and good luck on your ePortfolios.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Oh yeah, it looks like a lot of first-year students are.
Okay, that's all great. That's fine.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Lily. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm here if they have questions.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.